Hey, good afternoon, Bob here from Trade Genius, Tuesday the 12th of April, and as I said yesterday, we are going to see what we call Turnaround Tuesday, and we had exactly that. So when I gave the video out yesterday, we were sitting about right here. Overnight we fell. They had a big meeting with the Fed and the president, and I'm pretty sure what they're talking about here is they're worried about what's going on with the yen. And lo and behold, the yen topped last night, which gave support to the market. And here we have a 30-point move higher. And now we're sitting back in this up channel here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix that. And get that all back in play here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we put ourselves back into this this up channel that I've been following, and my target for the market for the longest time has been this area right here, this 2089 area. I think there's this gap you see here is telling us that this is where the most volume traded of all the prices above and below it for the last year. And markets like to go back to where they had volume. It's almost like running home when you're playing kick the can. And it's just a draw, and I think they're trying to get back up here again. And then here's going to tell us whether we're going to break out or we're going to break back down. And my view is, looking at the seasonals and going into the end of April, May, and early June is seasonally weak. Presidential year, very weak. And I think there's a race to get there before we come back down. So that's what I'm watching. How did I trade it? Well, I was in my old standby, which is XIV. And let me just go over there. So we have XIV here, and let me just pull this down. And okay, and so we're in this triangle. So I knew, unless this number here from Thursday's close till overnight, that if this held, that we're going to push to the top here, and I day traded this thing all the way up. So the beautiful trade, it hit the top of this triangle and went back down. Now my personal view is that after getting some more energy tomorrow, it's going to probably try to push out of here. But if it doesn't, it's going to roll back down to here again, and we're just going to have to wait and see. But as soon as this sets up for a trade for me, I'm going to be back in it again. I also got back in yesterday into XBI, which is the biotech, and it's at the price I bought it at. So all I did was round trip it here, bought it here, and I'm expecting this to go back up to the top of this channel here in the 58 area. I also did a trade here because I'm expecting GDX. I'll show you that nugget in a second, as I promised some people, is that this thing is really stretched to the downside, and if you get a better sense of it looking at nugget. And so these are my linear regression bands that I like to follow, especially when you have these ultras. And every time we pushed up in this area before with the triple, it starts to have some troubles keeping altitude. And now I'm bullish miners long term, but this thing needs to come back down, and it's probably going to come back down into this 70, 75 area before it regains air again. It's going to have to fill these these gaps, and it can go all the way down to here, which would be probably scare the children, but there's a good chance that it can push all the way back down into 60 before it comes back up higher again. These things are blow-offs. I don't care, anything. There's nothing macro that has changed yet. that the Federal Reserve can't reverse and the algos can't reverse, and it's going to happen here. So I bought Dust, poor man's nugget, and I'm going to take that trade, and I'm looking for at least a 50% move in Dust, uh, probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll see. If I'm wrong, if it breaks out to new highs here again, I'll jump back out and let it get even more extended, and I'll try again. But anyway, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And if you want to get the trade, sign up and try for our trial, and you'll make money. We're doing really well. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Bye.